All right, finally getting to an album review from the private collection of Saba and No ID by, of course, Saba and No ID. Been busy, but still trying to get to these videos. I know there's a lot of additional thoughts I haven't done. I'm aware. I'm just trying to get what I can. Mostly sticking to releases for reviews. Handwritten notes, again. That's been kind of nice. This has been helping me just kind of center my thoughts and calm down a little bit with as busy as I've been. First note, excellent album. Perfect springtime release. And I think that's a great place to start. I didn't look up my Scrabbles. Damn it. I should have looked up my Scrabbles. But in the last, 10 days since it came out, I have listened to this easily 5, 6, 7, 8 times or so. Gotten a good amount of listens. And for me, no skips at all. I listened to it all the way top to bottom. And I'm loving the overall vibe from the album. For me, for this album to come out in the springtime, I think is perfect. And I don't know if they planned it that way. I saw something about how there were some issues with some final samples getting clear that took a while. So I don't know if they intended this to release earlier, but springtime release is honestly perfect. For this album, this sound, this style, I think it feels great. Starting to warm up a bit in California. I don't know about the rest of the country, but here, the trees are blooming and the sun's coming out and stuff like that. So I really, really like the vibe of the album. Saba and No ID, they pair together so well on this album. So well, in my opinion. I love how Saba is putting a lot of great work vocally, lyrically, thematically with the messages that he has. But in doing so, he's respecting and playing with and interacting with the beat that is being given to him. And I love how No ID is making fantastic beats, all very distinct from each other. Great sound, great to listen to. I think my favorite beat, probably my favorite beat is going to be How to Impress God. Although I really, really, really like 30 Sec Chop, how it opens up with, I guess, what would be the normal structure of the sample, and then you hear him speed it up just a little bit. Love how he does that too. That's great. But in these beats, in this production, leaving room for Saba to work. And so it feels like the two are really balanced between each other very well on this album. Very well. I love how they both give each other space to exist, but put in the work to make it sound good. It's fantastic. And then I started pulling lyrics, and I tried to keep it contained because I get a little crazy with lyrics. Let's talk about favorite tracks. Favorite track, probably Head Wrap. I'll touch on that a bit more later. How to Impress God is great. Woes of the World is great. Every Painting Has a Price I really like. On the reaction during Crash, just randomly my mind started thinking about Kick Push by Lupe Fiasco, and I made this weird comparison to it, even though there's no reason to do that. I don't want to do that. I'm not trying to compare songs to other songs. But on the reaction, that first listen, wasn't that into Crash. Love Crash. Love Crash. I mean, really, the only track I don't have a heart next to is track 5, Stop Playing With Me. And that's just like a little minute quickie. I don't skip it. It don't really matter, but it's not like a song I would put on a playlist or anything, right? Love it. Stomping's really good. Big Picture is really good. I just like this whole album, basically, top to bottom. Lyrically, let's get into lyrically, because what I've really enjoyed about this album, too, is, much like with other rappers, MF Doom is a great example, and there's others as well. Lupe is another great example, obviously, that I mentioned to him earlier, where the more you listen to the album, the more you listen to the songs, you pick up on new things. And I think what Saba has done here lyrically and in terms of his message is great because there's lots of double meaning. And sometimes I feel like the double meaning is very subtle, and sometimes it doesn't feel subtle. Basically, you can listen to it and you're given this kernel of a message, this starting point. And in a way, the way he kicks out his lyrics and performs them and shares the messages that he has, you can kind of receive it in your own way, which is neat. Now, for example, I'm kind of skipping around a little bit. Anyway, here's some lyrics I wrote down from Every Painting Has a Price, and I really enjoyed this. I guess I never took the proper time to introduce myself to the many fans and the kindred souls that resonated with a kid who is the fly, ghetto, empath, anxious poet. And the reason why I love that bit specifically, especially that last line, the fly, ghetto, empath, anxious poet, is I feel like that's the general theme that Saba seems to be exploring in this album in very subtle ways. He seems to be exploring his interaction with music, with the music industry, with fans, with parties, with love, with God, like just lots of different little things, how successful he has been, other people that are, basically lying. That's another great track too, as West Side Bound Part 4. That's a great one too. I like that one a lot. That idea, just being this fly, ghetto, empath, anxious poet, all these things mixed together, that's essentially what the album is too. I feel like he's exploring just different little ideas through each track. Another thing I love about the album is the track order. Like, it's a pretty fucking good album, honestly. But in terms of, I guess favorite song is Head Wrap. I really, really like the double meaning there. And here's what I wrote down from that. For the moment I get up out of bed, this was the chorus: must protect what comes from my head. I don't care what nobody says. Keep growing your garden. And the direct story, the track is all about dreadlocks and your hair and all this stuff. But the subtle meaning behind it, if you go further into it, still tender-headed, boy, you are not that grown. The neck braids help you build your backbone. Everybody flamed your ass. You either laughed or just hoped one day the style would catch on. Shorty, my goals is more than what you can brag on. And I love Head Wrap for it representing the idea of essentially standing for what you believe in and cultivating what you believe in. And regardless if it's something that catches on or not, regardless if it's something that people laugh at you or not, tending your thoughts, tending your garden, tending your goals, pursuing those goals, even if it means those around you think you're kind of dumb, you're kind of stupid, you're wasting, whatever. I love that message. I think that message is so, so, so important, almost now more than ever. Although when I say that, I think they probably used to say that 200 years ago. The kids these days, they really need to get it right, right? I love that. There's so much noise. There's so much distraction. There's so much everything, it seems like these days, that I love the focus on your thoughts, focus on your goals. Don't worry about if anybody else is doing it or they think it's cool or they think you're dumb. They have nothing to do with your goals. Pursue your goals. I love Head Wrap. Love Head Wrap. So that probably is my favorite track. Great album. I mean, honestly, I have a little asterisk here. I had an asterisk a couple weeks ago with music, right, by Playboi Carti. My asterisk for this one is right now, this is my album of the year currently for hip hop in terms of like running order. The asterisk is obviously I haven't listened to that many new albums that year. So, can I really say album of the year? Who knows what's going to come the rest of the year. But so far, from what I've heard this year, new releases in hip hop, yes, this is the best one in my ears to date. No skips, run top to bottom. Love the tracklist order, love the production, love the rapping, love the vibe, love the message, everything. It's great. It's great. I think this album's fucking brilliant. I feel sorry for anybody who isn't listening to it. I've enjoyed listening to it quite a bit. And yeah, I guess that's it. Right, y'all. Take care. We'll see you soon.